Cutters, Degrassi, Unpopular Opinions. Hey there, hello, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Dabby welcoming you to another Degrassi Unpopular Opinions. Now, I don't talk a lot about Degrassi characters before Next Gen. Of course, everyone remembers Degrassi Next Gen in 2001 coming around, and then Degrassi turned into just plain Degrassi, and then turned into Degrassi Next Class for Netflix's benefit for 4 seasons, and then it's gone. But people sometimes forget about the original Degrassi stuff. This wasn't the first time Degrassi was on Canadian and American screens when Next Gen came in 2001. Obviously, why would you call it Degrassi Next Generation in 2001 if you didn't have a prelude? And there was a prelude. There was Degrassi Junior High and High, which CBC put a lot of interest into between 1987 and 1991, if you will. Yeah, of course, there were many American stations. I think some like PBS stations in the U.S. broadcast Degrassi Junior High and Degrassi High. One of the main people in the first ever Degrassi episode, like Degrassi Junior High episode, dealt with a girl by the name of Stephanie Kaye. And this is what the unpopular opinion is about. It's like, what is with Stephanie Kaye? Was she the original Degrassi gangsta? And I say no. So Stephanie in season 1 had to deal with her younger brother Arthur, who was kind of a nerd in a sense. Arthur had his own problems after Joey, put Arthur and Yick into a closet, and then they both bumpy, and then Arthur and Yick have a relationship and all that. But the fact of the matter is, Stephanie wanted to be more adult than she usually is. Her straight-laced friend Fola, who came from a Greek family or an Eastern European family, basically tells her that what you're doing is wrong and all that. And Steph has interest in guys, so she decides to become the student council president so that she can kiss boys and all that. She gets into it with Joey, Wheels, and even has Snake perform a song. And it's weird seeing Snake in the first ever Degrassi Junior High episode, like what he looked like now compared at the end of Degrassi's lifespan than what he did beforehand. And basically, it was, my name is Snake, make no mistake. It's like he had these weird. He had a lot of hair and all that. I know Joey did too, but like Snake didn't really look like Snake and all that. So anyway, Snake is weird and all that. But yeah, so Steph's big plan is to basically try to grow up in a sense. She ends up winning the competition, the vote, but then she soon realizes that kissing boys and all that is a lot different. You have to make speeches at PDA meetings, you have to represent the school well. And Steph says she just wanted to kiss boys and win something, didn't realize how much work she had to deal with. And so Arthur decides to try to help her deal with her problems. And she becomes student council president. But the second episode, she's supposed to make a speech about, Degrassi adopting a child and doing some kind of charity work, all that. But she ends up getting drunk with Lucy and I think the twins, Heather and Erica. I can't remember. But anyway, Stephanie tries to dress up a little more adult at the dance. Oh, yeah, it was at a dance. And Fola was told by her dad not to go to the dance and all that. Fola says, I have to make something to do with, I have to be part of the stuff to do with student council and all that. And Fola, I think, was Stephanie's right-hand woman for the simple fact that, Stephanie needed Fola to help her out. And Fola agrees, in a sense. So Stephanie can't do anything about it. Stephanie gets drunk, and then Fola decides to do the speech, but her dad pulls her out of the dance, saying that your mother and I didn't dance for many years. And Fola's like, but Dad, we don't live in the old country anymore. We live in Canada now. And, she tells him she had to be there for the presentation of the check. But the dad says, understandable, but you lied to me. I'm sorry, Papa. So, yeah, poor Fola. I feel so bad for her. But then, Stephanie takes her student council presidency a little bit too much. She uses it in a position of power to get over Joey and Wheels, in a sense. Try to get her away. She was in trouble for. Oh no, she wasn't in trouble for shoplifting. That was Fola and Lucy. But anyway, Steph realizes after pissing off a lot of younger students by giving a major position that was supposed to go to a grade 7 person to a grade 8, that being Joey, then they think Stephanie's done a terrible job as president, student council president. So they want her impeached and all that. Steph doesn't know what to do about the situation, but she does get impeached and vows by season 2 to do the right thing and not be a dick anymore. Unfortunately, she ends up almost being sexually accosted by a soap opera star. She has to deal with the fact that her mom's dating a new man and all that. That really gets Steph a little anxious and all that. And then by season 3, Steph's not even in the show. She was sent off to some expensive school and all that. I guess her mom was tired of her being so stupid. But Arthur got to help. Like, Arthur got to stay at Degrassi. And he and Yick developed a friendship with this Bartholomew Bond guy. That was kind of funny. But anyhow, Steph wasn't really mentioned much after season 3. And she wasn't even in Degrassi High. Now, the reason is because the actress who played her, I forget her last name. I know it's Nicole something, Shabratsky or something. She actually got a spot on a different show called Learning the Ropes. It was on CTV, and it actually featured Lyle Alcedo before his death. Playing a vice principal who has to keep his secret of the fact that he's a wrestler, all that in different promotions and all that, or else he loses his job. And she was the daughter and all that. And that Learning the Ropes was famous because it had AWA wrestling like Ric Flair, the Road Warriors, Harley Race, and a few other people. It's weird how CTV managed to get that. But anyhow, no Stephanie Kaye. But to me, it's like, was she the greatest? Was she the best Degrassi OG character and all that? I guess you can kind of say this is more of a hot take on Stephanie Kaye's stuff. Someone actually posted something a while ago that said, "Was Stephanie a terrible person?" And Rachel Violetta said, "She was just a kid, an 8th grader. She was mean to Arthur solely because he was her annoying little brother, but she stood up for him when Joey was bullying him. She was a bad friend, quote unquote, to Fola, but she didn't realize it until Fola told her. And Fola would not accept her attempts at apologies. It was a sad lesson on losing friends as you grow up to try to find yourself." And Fola left in season 2, allegedly, so Steph was upset that Fola left. Her scandalous outfits were tame compared to regular outfits girls wore in Next Gen. She was uncomfortable with letting the boys kiss her for Phillips to be school president, but she kind of didn't know how to stop it once Joey started with the "All the Way with Stephanie Kaye" slogan. The fact of the matter is that, yeah, her outfits were tame compared to Next Gen. Well, you got to remember, when Degrassi High came, it was the mid to late 80s. I mean, things are a lot different. Social convention, especially in the past like 3 decades. I mean, you got the fact that a teen pregnancy storyline really was shocking that CBC and Degrassi would go with that angle, especially with Spike. I'll mention that in a different unpopular opinion and all that. Anyway, Steph didn't like Joey, but he liked her. It's not her fault. It wasn't terribly nice to use Joey to get back at Wheels for telling her he couldn't go on a date with her. She was being manipulative and all that. And she was depressed because she had depression. She had problems with her parents being divorced and her mother remarrying. And all that. She was a kid who made a bunch of social mistakes and was known to pay the price for them, losing all her friends in the process and losing the actual guy she liked, Wheels. Well, yeah. She was trying to be more mature and all that. people said she was iconic. She was the birth of Manny Page Alley and a lot of people. All that. I think that in a sense that, Stephanie wasn't a bad girl in a sense. Steph was just, trying to be more mature. I think she was hoping to be more mature to get people to like her better. But it turned out to go the wrong way with her scandalous outfits and all that. In a sense, I think Steph is like the OG Queen Bee. Like she was before Paige. She was before Heather. She was before Ollie. She was before Claire in a sense. She was the first main female character, female lead. And then once Caitlin got more popular later on in Degrassi Junior High run, then Steph was just basically taken out. And the actress got a new gig with a new show, which didn't really compete against Degrassi. It was a different time. So good for the actress who played Stephanie, trying to show true colors in a sense.